Good morning, take your seats, and we're going to get started. So welcome back to day 3, Saturday, of Pycon UK 2016. I just want to run through a couple of things. So welcome back to those of you who have been here already, and welcome for the first time to those of you who are here for the first time today. A couple of things we need to quickly run through. We have a code of conduct. It's on our website. Please do familiarize yourself with it, especially if you weren't here yesterday or the day before. It's there to make sure that everybody has an enjoyable and safe experience at the conference. If you run into any problems with someone's behavior, which might be towards you or to someone else, or it might be the content of a slide or something that's said or something you see, please speak to any one of the conference volunteers. We're all wearing red badges. Speak directly to them. We have a written, documented process for handling code of conduct issues, and it will be dealt with appropriately. On that note, politeness is important. Please, when you're entering and leaving talk rooms, do so quietly, especially if there's a talk going on, because it can be very distracting for the speaker if a dozen people suddenly come in when they're just starting their talk or taking questions. And we had a couple of comments yesterday. This is a Python conference, but that does not mean when you hear the words, I'm a PHP or I'm a Java programmer, that you should be booing, because it's not very polite when you're the single Java programmer in a room of Python programmers. Not very nice to hear that, so please bear that in mind. Rooms for talks. This room is the assembly room. We'll have one track in here. We'll have one track in the Ferrier Hall, which is kind of in that direction, and one track in room B, which is in that direction. You should have a schedule with all those listed on. Today is our Children's Day, so welcome all the children who have come to the Children's Day. Can you just put your hands up and so I can see where you are? Yes, great. Oh, good. Yes, yeah. Welcome all you children and young people to maybe your first software development conference, and may it not be your last either. So I'm sure by the end of the day you'll have learned a lot of things that will be useful to you one way or another in your life in the future. The children and anybody who's going with the children to be part of the Children's Day, please go to room D at 9:15. That'll be when I finish talking here. Okay. Children's Day, those of you who are not children, please be aware of the children. They are like you but smaller, so don't tread on them even though they might be below your eye level. And more seriously, although we already maintain a very kind of friendly conference for a general audience, do moderate your language and check your slides for references and content. Okay, so just to be aware. And children, please be aware of the adults. Some of them are less sensitive than they maybe ought to be. Dinner at the Clink is sold out tonight. The Clink is a restaurant run at Cardiff Prison, and it works to help serving offenders receive training and skills and qualifications for life after their release. There are tickets only available for Sunday. They're available on the website. If you've nothing better to do tonight, strongly recommended Verdi's Macbeth at Welsh National Opera down in the Bay. If you're under 30, which I've missed it by a few days, I'm afraid, but if you're 30 or under, tickets are just £5. I was there last week. It's really great, so I strongly recommend it if you're in the slightest bit interested. If you're interested in things like crime and madness and lust for power, that's a great way to spend an evening. A few thank yous. The Raspberry Pi Foundation are here in force, as they have been, I think, at every Pycon since 2012, and they've brought such a lot to these conferences, not just They're fantastic gadgets which have actually powered much of the activities in the education tracks, but the people who have volunteered their time and their energies to organize things, to run things, you will see them literally running around. You will meet many of them in the Children's Day and education tracks. And we're really grateful. Carrie-Ann's there. I haven't seen Ben this morning, but Ben Nuttall's another very active person. Where's Ben? Oh, we don't know where Ben is, but thank you very much to the Raspberry Pi Foundation, and please keep coming to our conference. Our sponsors are out in the hall. Sponsors love it when you go and say hello and just talk to them. That's all they want. They've come a long way, some of them, to be here from different countries. Go and see what they're doing. Just go and have a chat with them. They love to talk to you, and it will really please them to have as many people as possible. Just saying thank you to them for sponsoring the conference, because they make it possible for us to put this on at the kind of price that we do. If it weren't for our sponsors, who are very generous in the amount of money they give us, your tickets might cost 4 or 5 times what it cost you to be here. Our speech-to-text reporters, it's Cheryl and Hilary this morning, and they've got yes. Somebody asked yesterday, oh, the software you're using for the speech-to-text is really great. What is it that you're using? Well, it took millions of years to develop this software. And it's not always perfectly reliable, as you probably know if you work with humans, but it is actually the best software that you can get. So thanks, Hilary, thanks, Cheryl, and thanks, Sam. So we love having you at our events. That's it. Have a really lovely day. Enjoy Pycon, enjoy Python, enjoy each other's company. And if there's anything we can do to help you, just come and talk to one of us. I'm going to introduce our keynote speaker now. So if everybody who is a child or involved with the children, can you see Nick is over there waving? Follow Nick, and off you go to room D. And while we're doing that, I'll get Gail up to set up here.